Good afternoon and welcome to the final at the workshop with, but it's not actually at the workshop today, we're actually at home with, and we'll come back to that in a moment, with Jacklyn Ellis. And we're going to be having a chat with Jacklyn about all the usual things, pre-Formula One, her Formula One career at the moment, results from last year. Also we're going to talk about the Buxton situation, and we are also going to have a look at future plans, and plenty of questions have come in, so we'll be discussing those as well with Jacklyn. First of all, I just wanted to remind you all about the petition for the Bellevue Stadium. Please do get onto that petition. I believe there is another petition where they've got more votes and signatures to actually knock the place down, which I don't understand that at all. But please get onto change.org site, or have a look at the Save Bellevue Facebook page or the Twitter feed, and make sure, if you've not signed that petition, to actually sign it, and let's see if we can try and get a bit of a delay on what's going on at Bellevue. So we'll just have a quick walk through to Jacklyn now. So as you can see, we're at the house, and we'll find out why in a moment, but we'll just say good morning to Jacklyn.
Hi guys, you alright?
Morning. So thank you very much for doing this. I do really appreciate it. Thank you for having a little chat with us, got a nice cup of tea and everything there. So usually what we do is we'll just have a quick start with what your racing was before Formula One.
Yes.
So obviously we had the F2, but there was stuff before that as well. So let's start right at the beginning, and what got you into racing, and what was your first racing experience?
Yeah, so I first started out, my first time at the track was when I was 3 months old with my dad in a banger. And then I was basically brought up around bangers with my dad in the Unlimiteds. My mum raced bangers, and she's had some crazy crashes and stuff like that in the past. And then when we were at Buxton,
of all places,
rock on Buxton, we saw that there were kids getting into these mini stocks. Okay. And I said, "Oh, Dad, look, there's some cars. There's kids driving cars there." So he said, "Well, we'll go and have a look, and then if you get a car, then we'll build one when we get home," thinking I'd forget about it. Yeah. And then by the time I got home, I'd been on eBay and I'd found an old Mini, like a road Mini, and we'd taken so many pictures. I must have took about 1,000 pictures of under the car, everything. And we used the pictures, and in 7 months we built the Mini.
Wow.
From scratch. Yeah, just me and my dad in our tiny little garage. That's probably why we're not up there now. We'd be shimmying around.
Squashed in, brilliant. So how long did you race the Minis for then?
A year and a half.
Year and a half, okay.
Yeah, so.
And any championship wins, or any races that stick out while you're a Mini driver?
Yeah, my favourite, obviously coming from being a White Rosa, Yorkshire Championship.
Oh, brilliant.
Was the best one that I won, I think, because I know it's not one of the major ones, but that meant the most to me than anything, winning the Yorkshire Championship. But I won the Whites and Yellows Championship in my first year, and I also got 4 rollovers as well.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And that didn't put you off?
No, I loved it. It was like being stuck in a washing machine.
Brilliant.
But, yeah, it was fantastic. And in fact, I think I got addicted to rolling it over. I don't think my dad was too happy.
Bet he wasn't.
That many shells.
I bet you did, yeah. And any particular other names that are in the sport still now that you're up against when you're in the Minis?
Yeah, pretty much all the big names that you can think of started at the same time when I was in Minis.
Okay.
Like, so we raced with George Nietzschel and Danny Wayman, Ike Parkinson. There was Jake Hall. Who else was there now? There was so many big names in it when I raced. Joe Booth.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Jay Hewitt. So Tom Bradbury, our brothers. So yeah, there was quite a lot of big names in our race.
Brilliant. And then obviously you moved into the Formula 2s. For how many years did you race the Formula 2s, first of all?
Oh Lord, I can't remember, and I don't know whether that's because I kept crashing and losing my memory, but I think it was about 5-6 years,
okay.
Maybe a bit more than that.
And what made you decide to go into the Formula 2s compared to other like mod stocks and things like that?
I wanted to race bangers.
Okay.
But my mum said they were too dangerous. And then within the first year of racing F2s, I ended up breaking my wrist.
Oh, wow.
And then the year after, I broke my wrist again.
Okay.
So I don't know whether it's
it was the right choice or not.
choice.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I did it because at the time I was in a relationship with Billy Webster, and their whole family was built up around F2s, and we thought, right, okay, I just wanted to carry on doing, racing with them, really.
Okay.
So that's why we initially went into F2s.
And again, any memorable races in the F2s? Anything that sticks out?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple of places and things like that, but to be honest, getting places in F2s wasn't as rewarding as being in the huge crashes and actually getting out of it.
Right.
So that, like, the time at Skegness that people still talk about now, when I rolled over and got hit when I was on my roof.
Right.
And I lost my memory then and broke my elbow. But if we'd have got another car, if I'd not been knocked out, then my dad was looking for another car for me to race the next race.
Wow.
So
God.
if I could have gone back out, but yeah.
So you've already had a few bumps and bruises. We've not even got into F1s yet, have we?
Yeah, I love it though. Honestly, it's like it makes you feel invincible once you crash and you get out of it, and it's like I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of, even if it was the last time, my last day would be in a stock car, then that's the best way to go in it. So I'm not scared.
Right, okay. Well, I'm never getting in one again, so you're better than me. Right, so then we moved up to the Formula Ones, of course. So what year was it when you moved into F1?
2016, I had a go in it.
Okay.
In Daniel Van Spijker's. I shared it on Facebook the other day, actually.
Excellent.
And that was my first ever time in one, and I can't actually comprehend how ridiculous it was, the power, and it was like, I need to do this. So anybody that thinks that they can just get in one just once and just have a little go, I recommend it. It's the best feeling in the world. Yeah. But yeah, so 2016.
Brilliant.
And then I just kind of thought, saved up literally all year just to hire a car. And then that's when I started.
When you started. And who was that car off when you first hired it?
Matt Newson.
So so
I love that guy with so much, honestly.
Well, obviously we wish him all the best, of course, after what happened last week at the boxing. So we do all wish him the best. So let's get off from that then. So when no, that's fine. No, I think we all feel the same for Matt actually as well, because it's all one big oval family, isn't it? As we've always said.
I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for him. He's amazing.
Yeah, brilliant. And as we said, we wish the family all the best, of course. Let's get to something a bit more light-hearted then. So, when did you actually go out and decide you were actually going to be buying a car yourself?
Well, actually, it was something that I was trying to work out the finances and everything like that, and obviously I think I was still working in the NHS at that point. So I was looking for another job just so I could fund doing F1s. And then me and Lee was going over to Cyprus to go and see his sister in the RAF. Yeah. And when I got to the airport, just as we were getting his bags, my dad rang me and I was like, oh, I'm here safe and everything. He was like, oh, great, I found you an F1. And I was like, what? And I thought he was jesting. Right. Yeah. And then, he sent me the pictures and everything, and then I was like, oh, you're joking, it's actually going to happen. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we need to try and find a way. So, and we did.
Excellent. Oh, that's brilliant. Right, okay. So, why did you choose the number 219? Any story behind that? Was it?
Well, I've got it on here. 915 isn't available. No. It's not, don't go up that high, does it? No. And then 111, which was like the family racing number, my mini racing number, that wasn't available either.
No, Mike Williamson had it, I think, if I remember rightly, someone like that. Yeah.
He's the man, yeah. I mean, you know.
Well, he's from Blackpool, actually, so yeah, he's only from my end, so he doesn't race anymore. But that's just the reason why you couldn't have the number that you wanted then, that someone else was using it, So,
and then initially they said, oh, you can have 216, and then Jack France texted me and said, are you stealing my number? So I was like, oh, I can't have that, so obviously 217, Derek 218, and then I thought, well, 219 is natural succession, isn't it?
So just coming away a second, we've got loads and loads of people watching live, so if you do have any questions, please do pop them up and we'll ask Jacklyn them as we're going, so please do come on board. It's always great to get questions live from people. So we're going to we've just moved on from joining the F1s, okay, and we're going to have a quick look at your results for 2018 because there was a bit of highs and a few lows as well.
Yeah.
But we'll have a look at the first Buxton, which was the 3rd of June.
Yes.
Which was a pretty successful meeting for you. So you got 6th in your heat.
Yeah.
So did you ever think while you're coming off that heat
Yeah.
that would be the highlight of the day, or did you think no, I can get a bit quicker? Or
I knew as soon as before we went, the car had just been over at Lee's and doing it's like the first time we've taken it before a race meeting to go and get checked and know to just go through everything, make sure that we've not missed anything. And they said it was all fine, so I thought right, okay, give me that extra bit. Bit
of confidence,
a little bit, but like I say, with me and my dad had already pretty much got it all sorted in ours. But it's with the Derek and Lee, the amount of knowledge they've got behind the sport and everyone's they can see something straight away. Because when you're working daft trying to get it ready, sometimes you miss something, don't you?
Yeah.
So when I went out in the heat, it felt a little bit off. But it was the best it had ever felt, and I thought, right, okay, I know now what's wrong with it, and I thought, right, okay, we can do this and we can check that, and it was just, I knew that the car was finally out driving me, so then I knew I could push it even further.
Gotcha, yeah. Excellent.
And then, I knew it was going to go on from there, really.
Brilliant.
Hopefully.
And then we got the final. Now, I was there, and you drive very, very well. Very well. Did you think when the lap boards were coming out that was going to be your first win, or could you see that people were catching? Or
yeah, well, as we were going round, there was a yellow flag, and then I think it was Paul Harrison that come past. God bless Paul.
Yeah.
And as he went past, there was oil on the track, so I was slowing down, and then when I saw Paul come past, I saw his line. Because usually when there's oil, you try and drive off the racing line.
Of course, yeah.
But the oil was if you actually stayed on it, it pulled you around.
Right.
So I watched him, saw what he did, and then copied him.
Right.
And then carried, and then that's what kept me going. Otherwise, I'd have been a bit further back. But yeah, when it was coming down to the last couple of laps, thought my tyres, everything was starting to go off.
Yeah.
And then I saw Lee come in.
Right.
And I thought, he's not going to catch me. I'm pedalling like hell here, you know what I mean? And then when it got onto the last lap, I tried to let him go to get past me on the second to last bend so I could get him on the last bend.
On turn 3,
but he obviously clocked onto that, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not past it. So he pushed me round and I was like, oh no. So then I was like, I just need to go hell for leather in this last bend. And no, he just managed to get me. Oh. But if the start finish had been a bit further down, I'd have spun him out.
We would have took him out. Yeah, well, that's what you meant to do, isn't it? Yeah.
He just spun me out. I've seen the weekend after.
Yes, well, we'll come back to that because you did have a few, let's say, wheel-to-wheel incidents with Lee, which is quite funny. It happened to be Lee that was always there or thereabouts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then in the Grand National, of course, you basically put that to bed and you got that first win.
Yes.
We've all seen the picture. You've got a copy of it down here. If we have a quick look down there, that's the hand drawing version of the photograph, which was doing the rounds after Jacklyn won the Grand National. Obviously, the feeling must have been euphoric. What can you remember about that particular crossing the line situation?
I just remember as I was going round, I think when it comes to the lap boards, you always think something's going to go wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
And something always sounds a bit off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But when I finally went round, and then I saw Lee coming again, and I thought, oh, here we go again.
Yes.
He's not having this one. I'll never live it down. So as I went across the line, it was you can't even put it into words. If anybody out there has ever won big on the lottery or anything like that, it's that like that. This must be what it feels like, because it was like it was as if like a weight had been lifted, and we've been trying so hard for so long.
Yes. And
all the hours of sweat and tears, and just me and my dad working so hard, and it's like it was. When I first went across the line, I just thought that was for me, Dad.
Brilliant.
Because I wouldn't be there if it weren't for him.
Yeah.
So as soon as I went across the line, I was hoping I could almost hear him in my head as I went across. And then as we went, like I say, when I stopped, I can't compose myself really.
No. Well, as I said to you earlier, you can see even though we can't see your face, just the way you were hunched over, sat on your wheel, you could just imagine the emotion that you were going through at that time. And that photograph just tells the story of all the time and effort that not just yourself and your dad, but every other driver goes through when you're not winning races week in, week out, of just what the feeling you get for winning that particular race.
Yeah, it's when you put literally everything you can. Like I say, I changed my job so that I could afford to do F1s, and it's like changing your whole life and living your whole life around it. And to everybody at the track, it's what is it, 4 hours, 5 hours worth of entertainment. But it's literally, you live and breathe it.
Oh yes.
And then when it finally gets there, oh dear God, I can't even tell you.
Brilliant. Right, so yeah, you very briefly mentioned earlier then the week after, or 2 weeks after actually, up in the Scottish weekend. It's a cracking weekend, isn't it? Up there every weekend, every couple of years, sorry. So, Cowdenbeath, let's talk about that first of all. You were doing well. Yeah. And then you weren't, for some reason. So, just talk people through that who can't remember it or who weren't there at the time.
God bless. No, it was a good race. I mean, like, it was good because we had a couple of battles where, like, Daz Kitson was coming for me, and kept trying. And like I say, I thought, well, he's going to follow me in a minute if we don't come past. Because Cowdenbeath, you can't physically pass anybody without following him in. Yeah. So it's such a tricky track, and it's so fast. I can't even tell you how fast it is. But when we were going round and I saw Lee come in, I looked at the lap boards and I thought, you know, I just need to hold him off one more lap, because it was like 2 laps to go. One more lap, he can come past then, and then obviously try and go for that last bender. Yeah. Because I knew it'd only take a little tap to put him in. Yes. Yeah. You know, that's if you don't pedal away, because once he gets past, I don't know where he gets the speed from, but he just takes off like a rocket, doesn't he? But when we were going round and I saw him coming, I still can't remember exactly how we managed to come together, but we both just went for the same space. I wasn't giving up. No, because I imagine the stick I'd have got if I'd have just
moved
let him
over
go.
or something. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not going to happen. And then, but the same other way around, if he'd have just let me go, like he'd have got it the same. Yeah. And people commented saying, "Oh well, you should have just put her away straight away." But at the same time, it's like he did do that. He was trying to find the best way round. Yes. And then when he did try and put me away, then you know we both ended up going in. Oh dear. But as I went in and I saw it was me and him, and he came across the front of my car. Oh, I was a little bit. Because you're that passionate, it was a little bit frustrating. But it's racing at the end of the day. Yes. Yeah. You know, that could have been Daz Kitson 3 laps earlier, and you know I'd have still been just as angry in that 2 or 3 moments, and then you've got to remember you're in a stock car. Yes. And that's what we do. That's why we race. If we didn't crash, then we'd race hot rods. Hot rods or something.
Yeah. And we've had a couple of questions from people about that particular weekend, the Cowdenbeath one. First of all, from our Nigel and Graham. So if coming to the future now, and you're into the last corner at Cowdenbeath, and Lee's actually in front of you now, the final corner. Would you actually stick him in, either accidentally or on purpose, of course, or would you take the safe bet and finish second?
Oh no! You don't go racing to finish second. What's the point in that? Brilliant. Well, no, if we go into the last bend and I didn't try going for him, he would be so angry with me. I'd get divorced straight off. You know, and same thing. If I didn't try and go for it, he would give me some proper stick. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's without thinking about what Derek or my dad would say as well. They'd be like, "Come on now, get some balls." But, so you just got to do it. You know, if you're not first, you're last, aren't you?
And I know we've talked about Lee quite a bit because, like we said, funnily enough, it was Lee who was involved with a lot of the things with your incidents, just happened to be coincidental. Yeah. Is there a little bit of extra little niggle between you when you're out on track, or is Lee just another driver whilst you're out there?
Yeah. 100%. And so am I. You know, the other way around. And like I say, it's when you're out there, you don't actually think of who they are. You're that focused, but that car is just another car. That's why I think when I was racing F2s, Gordon Moody once said to me, and I'll never forget it, he once come up to me and he says, you know, he took his hat off to me and said, it don't matter who's behind you or who's in front, you don't move over for anybody. And you know, it's because I don't really realise who's who. I don't think, you know, every red top superstar, you know, Lee was a white top once.
Yes.
You know, so we're all just people in cars trying to do the best we can, aren't we?
Brilliant. Right, we've had a couple of comments off people, which is brilliant. Please keep them coming. Yeah, Keith, we're going to be asking about Jacklyn's racing this year in a moment or two. Vicky Riley just says you're a big inspiration to the sport.
Oh,
so
bless you.
Thanks for that. Thanks, Vicky. And Phil, Jack and her Yorkshire tea. Yes, yeah, it's a good cup of tea actually, Phil. It's been really nice, so it's cracking. So let's get on now. Obviously, we're going to then move on to the second Buxton meeting.
Yeah.
Which was on the 30th of September, and just don't want to dwell on it too much. Of course, it's what we want to discuss. Put it bluntly, what can you remember of the actual day first of all?
Yeah, I remember that I started from Blue Top, and it was like my first proper race from Blue Top because the first race from Blue was in the semi-final. So it was my first actual meeting from Blue, and I remember qualifying for the final, first ever time.
Excellent.
I was like so
buzzing, yeah.
Because even if I got like, I can't remember what I got. I don't know, it was 8th or something.
I should know and I forgot actually.
No, honestly, there's that many races, but I was so happy to have got into the final first time from Blue. And then when I was racing, I remember the brakes weren't feeling too cracking. So I took the pads out and they were looking a bit worse for wear. So I changed the pads, and it was a big risk because you know that we've not managed to heat them up or do anything with them yet. So I knew that the brakes weren't going to work for a good half a race. Okay. At least, but I thought with the straights on Buxton, I can proper anchor it and, get heat into them faster. Yeah. Because Buxton helps it anyway. So when we put the brakes in, I knew I'd have to rely on engine braking. And with me having a 383, I was like, this is perfect, Right, okay. But as I was going round, when I went down the straight, there was a massive smashing noise underneath my seat, like a big clunking, as if my diff had locked. Yes, yeah. But at that point, it was the end of the straight, and Chris Cowley just gave us a little tap, little nudge, yeah. And that must have just freed it up, and it was like a rocket. There was brakes weren't working, engine wasn't braking, nothing was really stopping me. Oh, so I tried to steer and keep going, but I remember hitting the fence first, and then I hit Adam, which I think it knocked him out, sorry. Right. Yeah, okay. God bless you, Adam. Yeah. I do apologise. And then, as I went in, I just remember this massive pain in my face. Right. And I'd smashed my face in my helmet. Bearing in mind that the helmets were checked thoroughly that day. Of course, they checked all the numbers. In fact, the very helmet I used is the recommended helmet from the ORC. Right. So, and it was, I put a lot of weight on since I got it, so it was really squidgy. But obviously, because the hands device stopped my neck from breaking. Oh, yeah. So the hands device saved me, but obviously my head kept on going. Right. But when I was in the car, I got a nosebleed straight away, and I just remember I couldn't breathe and all that stuff you normally do when you get winded. But when I got out, I just felt really, really ill. Right. So Matt gave me the piggyback off.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And the adrenaline's still going, so I'm just everything's fine. I need to get back out and carry on going. But in the car on the way home, I felt so sick, really, really physically sick. And when I got home, I just slept. And then the next day, I thought it was just my ankle and my elbow that had hurt. Yeah. And then the next day, I was just sleeping all the time. I couldn't stop sleeping. Right. Tried to get in the GP, couldn't get in. Yeah. Called 111, and then they said, no, you need to go. Oh, no. I went to work the next day. And as I was in theatre, my speech started to go. And I was like, maybe I'm just tired. Yeah. And I'm trying to talk to the surgeon. And it's getting harder and harder to talk. I can see it, but I couldn't get it out. Yes, yeah. And then as I was driving home, I was speaking to my manager, and he was like, Jack, you really don't sound right. So they had me abandon my car and got one of my colleagues to come and take me to the hospital. And that's when I had CT scans and MRI scans and found out I had a small bleed on my brain. But I didn't know about it. Obviously you don't. You don't think about things like that, do you? Yes. So I thought my arms and legs are alright. I just feel really, really tired, and I just feel really sick, and I kept throwing up and yeah, and like I say, when I went into hospital and stuff, it was a bit worrying. I was fine with it, but the worst thing was the way it affected my family.
Yes, yeah.
You know, because to me it was just words. You know, I could just get a speak and spell or one of those Carl Hawkins. no, one of them Hawkins machines.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. Yeah. Carl. Same thing with Carl,
so
actually. No, it's all right. Carl will be all right. He's like that anyway.
God bless him. So I thought if I just get a speak and spell, I'll be all right after a bit. And like I kept trying to go back to work, and they kept just sending me back home again. And like I say, I was in and out of hospital quite a few times. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
And if you don't mind, no, that's fine. No, but no, it's great that you've been able to explain to the people who maybe didn't know how much it did affect you at the time. Have if you don't mind me asking, have there been any thoughts of that's one hit too much? In the sport?
In a way, for me, if I was just me and my car, like not at all. No, you know. Right. But with the way I saw it affecting my family and stuff like that, it did cross my mind. And obviously, we had a bereavement in December. Oh right, sorry. With a very close member of family, and it was that made me think, if she had a chance, she'd get back on the bike. Right. So and it was our Chelsea, same age as me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry. Of course.
Well, she's but I knew that if she'd come through, she'd have got back on a bike. So I need to get back on. Yes. Yeah. In a car.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. So they're just following on from that, because we don't want to dwell on that too much, of course. Got a question from Broadsword, so sort of connected to the incident at Buxton. Do you think a modern Formula One is too heavy or strong? Do you think they need to be slowed down a bit? And do you think they could be built differently so they're not as strong? So maybe the car takes more of the impacts, like the old days where the nerf rays used to fall off and things like that, rather than all the force going through the driver's body itself.
Yeah, I mean, there's always speculation, isn't there, into what you can do, because if you weaken something, then obviously, in a way, you're weakening the car, and even though it could save you in some instances, because of the way that we have impact from all corners, it could cause problems in other instances. Yeah. So you have to be thinking about it. You have to think about it very, thoroughly. But the cars do not need slowing down. We want to go faster. No, and it's like silencing and stuff like that. No, it's the noise, the speed, everything is what makes Formula One what it is. Yeah. And but to be honest, with the checks and things that they do now, it seems that they do. Everybody has to use the hands device, and like I said, I think that saved me. Right. And I think people that are quite lapsidaisical with safety, they think, oh, it'll be all right this time. Yeah. It won't, because I didn't plan to have me head knocked in. Yeah. I didn't plan to because I've had massive crashes. It was a little crash. Right. That's what really did my head in.
It's weird, isn't it?
Well,
yes.
Did my head in.
Literally, yeah.
But it was a tiny little crash, and it's really frustrating because I've had spectacular ones and I was fine, and it's just the little ones, the ones you don't really understand how it's going to affect you. And it was the same with Stuart as well. Yes. He's had a lot bigger crashes than what he's had, and obviously it's just that one that gets you the wrong way. Yes. So we can't be relying on other people to make sure that we are safe. We need to make sure we're safe. And like I say, I did have everything possible. Yes. Like the hands device I've got, a special carbon fibre, like Formula One hands device. Okay. The overalls, underwear, everything. Fireproof underwear, fireproof everything. And so straight away, even though the helmet was fine, that's been thrown away. I've got a new helmet now. Right. And everything I can do to try and make it safer. Okay. Well, obviously, being motorsport, of course, there's only so much you can do. It's part of the game, isn't it? Yeah. If you get hurt, you get hurt. That's what. It's one of the. In fact, it sounds a bit crazy, but I kind of like the pain. It makes you feel alive. Got you. Okay. But at the same time, it's the things that when it's in your head, you can't see it. And it's that does you in. Okay.
No problem. So let's come away from that now. So we're going to start talk about your 2019 prep. Yes. Just anybody who's got any questions for Jacklyn. I see Lee's watching, so there's hello to Lee. Get on. You should be working, shouldn't you, Lee? I believe. Should he be working today? Yeah. Get on with it, Lee. Come on. And just to Emma. Emma just likes to say so much love and respect for you, Jack. That's from Emma May, so thank you for that.
Thanks, Emma.
So please do get your comments in. Obviously, we wish Stuart all the best as well. He has unfortunately had to say that he's not going to be racing this year. But we do wish Stuart all the best as well. We did mention Stuart a moment ago.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. Okay, let's go on to 2019 then. So obviously the name of the series that I've been doing during the winter is At the Workshop With. But we're not at the workshop. So how's the car prep going at the moment?
So at the minute, when we got it all ready and it was ready to race for NEC. And we did, like I say, it was good fun. It was amazing, the NEC, you know. I just wish there were more of the stock car guys and stuff there to come with the cars, and because, you know, it's a fantastic opportunity to meet people, and, you know, to actually do the live action arena was like a dream come true.
Excellent.
So the car was great, but there are a couple of things that, you know, the NEC is fantastic for, which is we managed to test the car before we race again, and we found a couple of issues, but like I say, me and Lee have been focusing quite a bit on getting, you know, somewhere to live.
Yes.
Actually having more than one room to live out of, so we've been doing quite a lot at home, which has been a bit of a priority, as well as obviously I can't do anything really without my dad.
Right.
And he's just been to America in Las Vegas.
Excellent.
Yeah, so now that he's back, we'll try and make a bit of a plan. But after the crash, even though, you know, I've recovered really well, I still have little setbacks.
Yes.
Like on Friday, I was in A&E again. I was in Harrogate doing a case, and the surgeon sent me to A&E, and I ended up being admitted for lumbar punctures and all sorts of stuff. So I'm trying to do what I can to get to the garage, but at the minute it's a lot of things
on the back
at once.
burner.
Especially after, you know, like I said, losing my cousin.
Everything,
It was just I do struggle a little bit with quite a bit with mental health.
Right.
And it proper knocked me off my perch.
Yeah.
You know, everything that went off, like one thing after the other. So I just needed a bit of me time, really.
Yeah.
So that's why the car is actually still in the back of the lorry at the moment.
Okay.
And if we did it in the back of there, we'd be like...
Yeah.
So that's why we're not at the garage, unfortunately. But I'm hoping to put some time aside.
No problem.
To get stuff sorted. But I'm not going to rush it, just as and when the car is 100% and we're both happy with it.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I've got a neurologist on Monday, see what he says as well.
Well, yeah, because we've had a question off Dave just saying when is your first meeting, but obviously, like you said, your health comes first. Yeah. So there's no stress, no worries, no pressure to get out there. Yeah. It's when you're ready to do it, of course, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as and when I don't end up, like, I just slept funny and I lost my speech again. Right. So there's obviously something underlying that we need to work out.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll find out on Monday. And then we can sort out from there, really. So.
Well, I'm saying for everybody who's watching, because we're having massive amounts of people watching live, which is brilliant. We do really appreciate your time, of course. So
all right, might need to pop kettle back on
in a minute. Yeah. Lee's actually just sent another question. Somebody called Lee Fairhurst. Anyway, I don't know if you've heard of him. What time do you want him home tonight?
Whenever you finish doing what you're doing,
sweetheart. Brilliant.
Which will be 5:30 on the dot. Otherwise, you're teasing. That's it. You're teasing.
You got the boss do, haven't you?
Exactly.
Tonight,
yeah. No. To be honest, he's been. I can't tell you how awesome Lee's been since I've been ill and stuff. You know, like taking me to appointments and looking after me and stuff. So I'll not tell anybody. Oh,
you're not telling anybody, but yeah.
He's very tough. Exterior, but he does look after me.
He's a good lad, isn't he? He's a good one. Sarah Jane Smith. Sarah Jane Smith. Can you wish Josh good luck for Wednesday for his F2 micro driving test? He loves you, Jacklyn.
Oh, good luck, Josh. I hope to see you out in the micro F2s. I won't fit in one, unfortunately, but hopefully my nephew should be potentially going in one day. So. Hopefully we'll be pit buddies, so if you need any help, you know, we're at the track, just give us a shout.
Brilliant.
But happy birthday, and is it happy birthday?
No, just having his test.
Oh yeah,
I
good
think.
luck.
Yeah.
You'll smash it.
Mark Sargent wants a brew, so
Anytime.
come on round, Mark. And it's a bit of a trip for a cup of tea, but come on.
Proper cup of tea though.
Martin Fitzgerald as well. He wants a cup of tea, but he wants honey in his. So
me too.
it sounds like they're all coming round. Actually, by the sound of it, brilliant. So
I might have to move house again.
let's look a little bit further on because we've got a few more questions left, and it's brilliant that you're doing this. Further on from 2019 then. So obviously health matters, hopefully they'll get cleared up for you. What's your plans for the future further on from 2019? Is there anything in the pipeline? Because we've had a few people asking about different forms of racing, etc., which we'll come to in a second. So is it going to be predominantly Formula 1, do you think, for the next few years?
So much that I want to do in F1. You know what I mean? I mean, I have to be realistic in some aspects with the budget that we've got. And like I say, I pretty much, you know, I don't do every meeting because we just can't afford to. Yeah. And without my sponsors, and like I say, I won't do it. I won't be able to do it at all. But with, like I say, I pretty much live by my bonuses. If I don't hit my targets, then I don't race. Yeah. So, but like I say, it's just, it depends how my head goes and how things go. Because even though I feel fully recovered now and it's kind of like a hidden thing, it does tend to knock you back now and again. So I need to make sure that I am 100% because I can't put my family through all that again, you know.
I understand.
But if F1, like I say, if the news, if things don't work out, where are you going? If it doesn't recover the way that it should do, then I'd love to race circuit again. Right. You know, so we went out with Burton Power. Me and Lee went out with Burton Power with Andy Burton, and in the Focus RS.
Right.
And, oh my God, it was unreal. So yeah, I'd love to have another go at something like that as well. To be honest, anything, I'm open to anything.
Open to anything. Well, that brings me on to Dave G and Nick have said basically the same sort of question. Any other plans for racing other types of formulas? So maybe that is a door that may open in the future for you.
Yeah, I mean, when I raced MR2s, it's a fantastic way to get into circuit racing, and like the team, it's like another family. With Patrick Mortel and Carolyn, it was they were fantastic. So. I mean, I'd love to have another go at the MR2s again, you know, but circuit racing is just it's so different. But I kind of like hitting stuff, you know, so I don't know, I need to just really get my head sorted 100% and then I can just stick at F1 because it's unreal. I'd love to race anything. I'd love to race a saloon.
Yes. Oh, they are nutters then, aren't they?
Man, yeah. I love them. They are amazing.
Yeah. We've had Nick King on as well. He's the lad who does the charity work for you. And he was obviously you weren't able to do the King's Lynn last year. Yeah. So again, subject to your health, etc. Any plans of Shale for this year? Yeah.
100%. After racing NEC and going sideways like on purpose for once. I was like, right, I know I need to do it. Yeah. So, and that and I need to increase my skill set as a driver, you know, because Shale's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So, 100%, yeah. I mean, even if, you know, the tarmac car, even if I don't manage to get back out early on with the tarmac car, I might just see about hiring a Shale car, hopefully. But we'll see how it goes.
Well, I think what we found with Nigel with his first year is that you can have a good tarmac car which will be pretty good on Shale as well, but you can't have it the other way around, can you? A good Shale car is not necessarily is usually no good on tarmac. So maybe with you having a tarmac car, you can just convert it just for the odd meeting and have a bit of fun.
Yeah, really. Well, you say that, but my car's actually a Shale car.
Oh, was it? Right.
And we left all the brackets on. We did convert it to a tarmac car. Yeah. All those shockers are still long shockers. We've still got all the long torque arm brackets on so that we can put it back in. And the floor as well, I think I need to put another floor in because we altered it for the tarmac for this car. But we've left all the brackets on ready for Shale, and we've actually got Dan Johnson's old wing.
Right, you got it.
So we've got all the bits and pieces to do it. Excellent. But like I say, it's time because like at the minute it's just me and my dad. Apart from when I was ill, Trim came to come and help us. You know, one of my dad's old banger mates.
Oh, excellent.
And he was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if we had more help, I could switch the car around a bit more, but it's tough.
Well, I've had some more comments again. It's been brilliant that people are sending so many comments in. Alan Hargreaves said, Daddy number 2 is watching.
Hey, you're right.
Excellent.
Yeah, can't wait to see him again.
Sarah Jane's just reminding you that her son's birthday is in April, so it is coming up soon, actually, for that F2 Micro, so that's brilliant.
What's the opposite to belated?
That's early, isn't it? So I don't know. Marvin, he doesn't drink tea. Can he have a coffee? That's Marvin.
Yeah, at least coffee machine.
And he's also mentioned about maybe you should get you and Lee in the Fun Cup cars that he's involved in. So you never know. You never know. Big Chris, all right, mate. Says there's a spider on the wall behind you. It better not be, because I'm running.
Chris, not again. He did that to me when I was doing that gearbox thing, and it proper freaked me out. Yeah. And I was like, Chris Clark, I will have you.
Oh, he's alright, isn't he? Yeah. And Mark Bruce is just saying, glad to see that you're looking better and wishes you all the best and hopefully sees you out on track soon, of course.
Thank you.
Excellent. Cheers. Again, some more comments. Now, we're just going to... got a few more questions to you, if you don't mind. Obviously, being a female driver in the world of Brisca Formula 1, which is predominantly male drivers, there have been some cracking female drivers in the past.
Yes.
Of course, we've had Lisa Harter, Phoebe Wayman, of course, at the moment, Hayley Parkinson. What's your feelings about the sport? Do you think it is a level playing field, whether you're male or female?
100%. Definitely. I think more so in F1s than in F2s because, to be honest, in F2s it is so hard. Isn't like in F1s, for instance, you've got the powered steering and different things like that. Like in the F2, I used to come off and my arms were knackered.
Right.
But like I say, the plus side is obviously having the powered steering and stuff to make it a bit easier. But obviously, the car always wants to go sideways and everything is so heavy, you know, when you're working on the car. So as long as you've got big bars and stuff, working on the car is not an issue. You know, there's always a way around it. And if anything, the tables, I think, are going to turn in the same way that they did with minis.
Right.
There's Fury. Hey up, mate. That's the other bird.
That's the other bird.
So, yeah, I think the tables are going to turn as they did in minis. It used to all be... You know, it should be a novelty to get a girl.
Oops. Oh, just hit it. Just hit her head on the door then. Oh, flying to the door.
Step up. Did you just fly into the door? Are you off your head or what? Good point.
Excellent.
So, yeah, sorry.
No, it's alright.
So it is, yeah, it is going to turn. 100%. And I think the more women in it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, you know what I mean, as long as you're driving and you can race and you've got the heart and you don't just expect it, you know, you work your ass off for it, then anybody can do anything.
This is a brilliant image now. You've got with him on your head. That's excellent. No, that's great. Because we've had Hatman on who's mentioned about, I don't know what your thoughts are about other forms of motorsport with people like Michelle Moulton in rallying, Danica Patra in NASCAR, Susie Wolf in circuit racing. Do you feel that female drivers need to work a bit harder to get recognised in other forms of motorsport, or is it something you don't think about, you just get on with yourself and...
You just crack on, don't you?
I mean,
like whether you've got boobs or not. I mean, some guys have got boobs, but whether no matter what's on the outside, it's we're all the same on the inside. You know what I mean? Nothing changes. So I think initially you have to fight to be taken seriously. And you have to show people that you're going to be taken seriously and that you're not just going to get bullied, because they do say it back in the day when I started, they do say, oh, you know, everything's even. Two things that really annoy me. First thing is when people say, oh, I didn't want to hit you in that one.
Right.
And I'm just like, well,
why not?
It's not going to go the other way around. I'm not going to not hit you, so just crack on.
Yeah.
And then the other one is when you see somebody who's, you know, letting everybody go, and, you know, and as soon as they see you pass them, then they try and get you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we just want to be treated, you know, well, we are now. It is changing.
Yeah. Yes.
On track, we are all equal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think that it's a fantastic change. And
brilliant.
Like I say, as long as you're racing, you focus on your racing stuff. I mean, there's been an odd few driver that's come and gone, which I won't mention any names, that does take a bit of offence to women racing.
Yeah.
and does anything they can to try and take you out.
Right.
But they just make themselves look right twats, don't they?
Yeah,
So,
basically. Yeah. That's brilliant. Excellent. Okay, a few questions from Facebook and Stockset now, which is some like random sort of things. One of them's a little bit connected to what we've just been talking about. We've got Rob B was asking about the Grid Girls situation. There's a bit of an uproar last year, wasn't there, on Grand Prix and BTCC and all this sort of stuff about the Grid Girls. You've done a sort of similar sort of thing with the stock car oval side.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? Do you think it's just a bit of a hoo-ha, or should the girls just get on with it if they want to do it?
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean, come on, you know, on BTCC in Grand Prix, they are all beautiful. You know, they're in beautiful dresses, they're in beautiful attire. They, you know, it's not like they're walking around in the pants, you know, and the bra. Yeah. You know, it's not like, oh dear Lord, I need to go to page 3 to see something like that. It's not like that, is it?
No.
It's modest, and it's, you know, if we do have catsuits on, it's all sponsorship, which people are always wanting more sponsorship in the sport. And then they go and stop people from wearing things that are sponsoring. People are sponsoring to wear, you know. But without the Grid Girls, when I was doing the trophies, number one, it boosted my confidence so much as a person, because initially when I first started, I couldn't, you know, I was very, very shy, very timid. Yeah. And it really gave me another leash, another level of confidence in myself as a woman. Yes. And then, not only that, working in the NHS and trying to race, the only tyre money that I got in some aspects was, or the only fuel money I got was from trophying. Right, yes. So it actually enabled me to race. Brilliant. So for them to say it's somebody else taking away an option, you know what I mean? I'd understand, like I say, if it wasn't modest. Yeah. But if it's kept modest, what does it matter? What's the problem? Yeah. You know? Yeah, completely understand. Just worry about their own little lives. Okay, one question from Trev. You seem to remember a race that you had with Will Hunter back in Northampton, where, as far as he was concerned, it sort of made you to be not a learner F1 driver, if you see what I mean, but to being able to be competitive. So, is there any particular race that you think you've thought to yourself, yeah, I'm now arrived, I'm now a proper Formula 1 driver? Yeah, I think it might have been when I hired the car. And I went out, and it was as if I'd finally found my place, because I was always fighting in the F2, and I never had the equipment to go fast enough, to be fast enough. Yeah. And I found out in F1s you can actually be competitive in the garage like it should be. Yes. You know, and I think it was when I raced in Northampton, I think it was like the Masters or something like that. And it was European as well. Actually qualifying for those kind of races was a dream. Yeah. You know, being up against the guys. I mean, I wouldn't ever say this to any of the other drivers' faces, but I looked up to every single one of them before I started, and to be on that grid with them. Yes. I was so starstruck, but you just have to, you know, put your visor down and crack on, don't you? Yeah. But it was just actually being there that made me think, right, okay, this is perfect. I feel like I've made it into F1s now, because I'm in with the top guys. Brilliant. You know, so I think that one at Northampton was quite good, because, you know, I get to a certain point where I race with respect. Always, everybody should always race with respect. If you don't, you know, get out of the car. But when you race with respect, and me and Will had a proper battle, that's proper stock car racing. That's it, yeah. You know, like knocking each other, and afterwards, like laughing and joking about it. That's the way it should be. Yeah. You know, and brilliant. Yeah, we weren't fighting for like first or second or anything, but it was so much fun. You know, but yeah, that's I think I agree with you. Possibly that one. Excellent. Christopher, when you're at work and your workmates ask you what you do at weekends, what's the reaction like? Well, it's very mixed, because obviously some of the guys are very shocked and very not starstruck, but they think, oh my God, she's amazing, you know, and they're very proud and they push me and stuff like that. But to be honest, because I work in the health sector and I work with like the surgeons and the nurses and all my colleagues, they just see the danger side of things. Yes, and they sometimes are like, Jack, you know, you're too young, this, that and the other, you've got a good career, you need to, you know, be careful. And you know, especially after the crash, that near enough every doctor I've seen has been like, you need to give it up now.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's not very helpful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're knitting and you poke yourself with a needle, you don't stop knitting, do you?
No.
You know, you get a plaster and carry on.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's very mixed. Some people love it, some people hate it.
Okay. Favourite track to race at? This is from Nick. So where's your favourite track? Whether it be minis, F2s, whatever. What's your favourite track?
Minis, Kings Lynn, 100%.
Yeah.
Kings Lynn, amazing track. F2s, probably Skegness.
Okay.
I love Skegness. That's amazing track. And now we've got Rob and Asher as well, proper legends. And what they've done to the track as well is wicked, isn't it? And then in F1s, I've got to say Buxton Anna, because it was my first ever win.
Yes.
You know, my first ever battle.
Yeah.
And Log Ellie's a good one as well, like, but yeah, Buxton I'd say in F1s.
Brilliant. And then we've got any car, any formula, any track. So any sort of racing at all, be it circuit racing or whatever, what would be your ultimate ambition, as in Lamborghini racing in Spain or whatever?
Yeah.
What do you think it would be? Have you ever got any sort of goals where you thought, oh, you've seen it on telly and you'd love to do it, like the Porsche Carrera Cup or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Any particular ambition at all?
This is going to sound crazy, and I don't know what track, but I'd love to be. I'd aspire to race a drift car.
Drift cars, right?
Yeah, drifting.
Okay.
Because even though it's not like a race,
yeah,
that's like the pinnacle
the skill.
of skill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they make it look so easy. And I've got a really good friend, Danny Murphy, who races. Like we've known each other since Miller's days, when I was sponsored by Miller's. And like I said, the skill that's involved in that, and to push yourself to that level. It's I think drifting would be the one, definitely.
Question from Lincoln, Nick again. Nick sent quite a few in actually. So whilst you're at the track, you and Lee parked up next to each other. Do you assist each other out with setup, or is it all dead secretive?
100%. I think he helps me more than I help him, but we help each other out. That's the way it is. You know, like off the track, as soon as they pass the gates, then we're still partners.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, you know, he's so busy and we're so busy. Like, it's mainly me and my dad. But if we do come up against any stumbling blocks, or want to bounce any ideas off or anything like that, then we're all part, you know, at the same camp, really. I mean, I won't say, you know, we're a team. You know, well, we are a team, but like we tend to do our own things. Yeah. But if we ever need each other, then we're always there for each other. That's the way it is.
Brilliant. And do you enjoy the repairing side and setting up, or would you rather it where you could just jump in car and get racing?
Oh God, no! What's the fun in that? I'm not taking this away from anybody who does just get in and race, but I swear it's the best feeling when you've gone out and you know, you understand your car a lot more, you become connected to it a lot more. And it's not even just like a car, it's like an extension of yourself. Yeah.
So you like getting your hands dirty, basically.
100%. Yeah, it's the best. Like I need to get in the garage a lot more. I used to be in pretty like every day with my dad, but like I say, life is starting to take over, and I really do need to get back in a lot more, because I've never been so clean. You know, it's not right. But no, if nothing I like better than just sitting in the garage and just cracking on with stuff.
Brilliant. Yeah. Couple of more live comments. Mark Bruce has said his little girl is very happy with the picture that you signed for her up at Kelly last year. I don't know if you remember doing that at all, but he just said he just wanted to thank you very much for doing that. Brilliant. Cheers, Mark, for that.
Worries.
And Martin Wallace has asked, how is your relationship and friendship with Phoebe, as being you're the only regular F1 drivers anyway? So do you get on? I presume you get on with Phoebe.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. Like I you know, we used to talk quite a lot, and like I said, we spent a lot of time together at the NEC, and like I take me out to her. She's proper awesome, isn't she? And it's like, you know, you don't normally say that to someone. You don't say that stuff like that to someone's face, do you? But it's like what she's done as well. Like she gets proper stuck in, and you know, she's a fantastic driver. She's, you know, I really take me out off to her. And not only that, she's so lovely.
Yeah.
You know, and we sat and we were signing the posters. I've got loads of them posters if you want some. The women in motorsport.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's as if even though we don't talk every day, it's like we couldn't talk even if we didn't talk for a year. It's like we've got so much in common.
Yeah.
Like she works so hard as well as it's like she's like a younger, fitter version of me. So, but she's cracking.
So we're just going to be another few minutes now. So if you do have any more questions, anybody who's watching live, please just get them in because we've just got a few more. We don't want to take too much time up with Jacklyn.
I need to paint my face for tonight.
So Chris, we've already answered that one about shell racing. It's all hopefully it is in the plans for the year, but obviously health permitting, etc. So cheers for the question anyway. Thank you for that. So if we look at a couple of more random questions, basically, Link has sent one in. What's your feelings about Cowden Beef for a world final? Do you think it would be a suitable arena to have it as a driver's point of view? Not the full sort of show, but the race itself. Do you think it would be suitable for a world final?
If I'm 100% honest, it scares me a bit. You know, because once I think, and as well for the spectators side of things, there'd be a good couple of crashes, but after 3 laps you don't want to see 3 cars running around. You know, you want to see a full field having a good battle, and I think it's all about the passing and switching of places and battling for first place and all the way to the end. Yeah. And I think that would be really difficult at Cowden Beef. Don't get me wrong, the track itself is an amazing track, and to race it at a normal meeting is brilliant, you know what I mean? But we want to see like a new race leader every single lap. Yeah. And like I say, we want to see as many as the top drivers, well, all drivers on the grid for as long as possible. Yeah. Because up until the last bend, like if going to follow in right at the last bend, it'd be a massive carnage pile up. But like we want to see, stuff going off. You know. Yeah. You don't want to see just people driving around. I
can imagine there'd be a hell of a lot of wave yellows for that one, wouldn't there? It'd be on the scale of the Skegness, wouldn't it? From when Lee won. Long race. Yeah.
And it's not only that. I know we're racing, we're starting full contact, but I really don't want anyone to get hurt.
No, obviously. Yeah,
and
of course.
It's fast, so.
Talking about the new fire prevention thing, I don't know if you saw the video that we did from the Motorsport with Attitude show with Les. We've had a question again from Linky just asking about, do you think the sport should be putting more emphasis on the safety of the cars before the performance? For example, looking into these fire prevention or extinguisher type systems rather than changing MSD boxes and changing shock absorbers and things. Do you think we should look at the safety of the cars in a bit more detail?
I think in a way there's only so much that you can put into an F1, you know what I mean, and you need to think about it very seriously, because if you get a massive knock or rollover or something and it goes off, because it's not just like a normal rate, it's big, there's a lot of pros and cons. I can see how it will be extremely beneficial, but I think the focus really needs to be on and I don't want this to sound wrong, but and I know they'll get a lot of training and things, but marshals being either helping them with earpieces around the track, or
radios,
so that they can see
communications,
the amount of yellows that were going off at different places, and when I've been on fire before, and luckily it's at Skegness, and Helen Kalita, I don't know where she gets her running shoes from, but she's off, and
she does,
and like I say, it's just having that responsiveness. If you've got that responsiveness from the marshals, then in a way, why do you need additional bits and pieces putting into the car? Yeah. I mean, not saying that having that wouldn't help. If it's a small unit and it's something that's been tried, tested, then extra safety, you can't say no to it, can you?
Brilliant.
100%.
Excellent. So we're nearly done.
Sorry.
Okay, I've took loads of your time. Sorry. No, don't apologise. Like I said, I've took loads of your time here anyway.
I'm surprised I've not run out of words again.
No, there's a few more actually, but no, it's okay. We've had one off Ed Harris, which I don't think there's a lot you can do about this, but he has asked you to stop crashing into him on the Stock Cars Unleashed game. Actually. Mad up, yeah. But you're a bit aggressive on the game, actually, I think. I think you
no,
put me in a few
down to the
times.
T, I think, yeah, 100%. No, if I didn't have to repair the car all the time, and if then I'd be like
That's
that
what you'd
in
be
real
like.
life. Yeah.
Excellent. Because it is coming out on the Xbox soon as well, isn't it? So
I'm gonna have to buy one then.
You have to buy an Xbox.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll buy an Xbox just to play that game.
Just to play the game.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And the other one was just which is from Graham. Obviously, being in a partnership with Lee at the moment, not sure if you've talked about marriage yet. You don't have to say yes or no to that. But if you were to get married, large church wedding or a marriage on the centre green during a race meeting, what's your preference?
For me, that'd be centre green at a race meeting, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Why would I want to go somewhere that's like don't really mean anything? Like in a church, it doesn't. You know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm agnostic. So I don't sit on the fence. You know, I'm sitting on the fence. I'm not. You know. Yeah. So the church thing doesn't really make much sense. But like a registry office, like I say again, doesn't really make much sense. If I could do it at a track, then that'd be like that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then instead of confetti, they can get like those tyre smoke things and do donuts around the track.
Brilliant.
It'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
That'd be great, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get it set up.
Yeah, that'll be it. We just got one more question from everybody online. What's your thoughts? As we've already mentioned right at the start, we talked about Bellevue Stadium and the petition that's on there. What are your thoughts about all these tracks that unfortunately do seem to be closing? There seems to be another one in the news, but I think it's Ballymene, I think, was closing, if I remember rightly. So what do you think about it yourself, that it seems to be smaller number of tracks we can race at, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not right, is it? You know what I mean? And it can't just be one person, and it's always too late before this stuff comes in. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like we need to. This isn't obviously applicable to anybody watching, because everybody watching obviously does support us. But it's what we can do to get it to people that don't know what stock cars are, and get more people to the tracks. Because if it was more widely known exactly what we do, and we've got more people to the tracks, we wouldn't even be. I don't even know.
Be in the position, would we? That's right.
You know, because if you look at videos from 1980 something, everything was rammed, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
But it can't be down to one person to do something, and then everybody jumps on the bandwagon at the last minute. It's like, we need to do something now. Yeah. You know, and it's got a bit. We all need to stand together, don't we? Of course. So if you've not signed the petition, you need to sign it. Yeah. Brilliant. Otherwise, you know, get in a stock car, right? And we'll see, won't we? That's it. Brilliant. Yeah. And just want to finish off with anyone you'd like to thank that's assisted you, either at the tracks, mechanics, or your sponsors. Anybody like to mention? Yeah, obviously my dad, 100%. Because I wouldn't have anything without him. My car wouldn't be. I wouldn't be able to get it to the tracks. Wouldn't be able to do anything. Wouldn't be able to do the work that we do. So my dad definitely. My mum for being an amazing. It was, what's it called? My #1 fan. Yes. And the one who screams at the side of the tracks. So, you know where she is. And then obviously my sisters, but Lee and Derek, and all the work they do, all the lads that help. And like I say, Lee and Derek have been unbelievable for us, you know what I mean? And like Derek and my dad are just like bat off each other all the time. Yeah. They speak to each other more than I speak to him. And then obviously Lee just supporting me with everything, but all my sponsors, everybody that's stuck by me from day one, and you know, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. And biggest thanks has to go to everybody that's watching. Yes, because but no point driving around a track if there's nobody there. That's you know what I mean? So this is for you guys. Brilliant. Well, that's a brilliant. Thank you very much. Well, we do appreciate your time. It's been amazing. We've had some really good feedback off people. The live views has been amazing as well. So I do appreciate it. Need to beat Lee. Yeah. So we're just going to finish off just by letting people know that, as Jacklyn's just said, don't forget the Bellevue Facebook page and the Twitter page about getting that petition signed. We need to get more people signing that than signing that petition that wants it to be pulled down, which is just a ridiculous sort of petition to set up, if you ask me. Somebody's set up a petition of people who want it pulled down. Right, yeah. What's the name and their address? No idea. Have you got a baseball bat and a shovel? Not that I'm crazy or anything. And before the season starts, we've got another charity evening next week at the Stand Up to Cancer at the Barston Lakes. I think all the tickets are sold.
There may be the odd ticket available on Facebook. I think I saw a couple of tickets were available for someone. Are you going to that yourself, Jacklyn, next week?
I think, where am I next week? I should be. I don't know if I've got a ticket. Usually Suzanne sorts everything out for me.
Yeah.
See, she's like my PA. Well, she's
your
everybody's
PA.
PA. Yeah, so I need to get it sorted. I don't know why Lee didn't do it. I'm proper gutted. It'd have been right good, wouldn't it? Some Yorkshire tea leaves covering, you
That's
know?
it, yeah. You'd only need a few. And then we're all back together again at Kings Lynn on the 30th of March for the first meeting. So hopefully that'll be when the next interviews will be from the track. Hopefully we're going to get in touch with King Lynn, try and get on the big screen again for this year. So I'd just like to thank everybody for watching. Do appreciate it. Please let me have some comments how we can improve it. Anyone you'd like to have a chat with in the future, and we'll try and get that arranged. So thank you very much, and we'll hopefully see you all at Kings Lynn on the 30th. Thank you very much.